Is there really an alien sleeping inside of this pod? We have another anonymous whistleblower coming forward, and I don't know if this one is real or not, but if there's giant eggs that are UAP or UFOs inside of caves in Antarctica, that's crazy. Swinging underneath the helicopter being transported out after they got it out of that cave. There is a connection between the paranormal, UFOs, and the myths of ancient history. The clues are scattered across the landscape from a forbidden past, maybe even in your own backyard. There is a connection between the true nature of our reality, consciousness, and the unexplained. I'm Carl the Crusher. Let's explore the unknown. Is there really an alien sleeping inside of this pod? We have another anonymous whistleblower coming forward, and I don't know if this one is real or not, but this comes from 4chan, from an anonymous poster that says that there is an egg-shaped UAP and pod in Antarctica in these photos. This was posted today, this morning at 8:05 in the morning. And it says, "It's me again, as promised a few hours ago. Here are some of the photos of Antarctica Retrieval mission in Queen Elizabeth's Range." It says, photo 1, Egg UAP. Let's look at photo 1. Photo 1, Egg UAP. If this is a legitimate real photo and not AI, this is crazy. I'm not saying these are real. These could be AI, but if there's giant eggs that are UAP or UFOs inside of caves in Antarctica, that's crazy. Here's another picture, picture 2. Giant egg inside of an ice cave. Here's a picture inside the cave, allegedly. And then here is supposedly the sleeping pod. That there's like this box with these attachments to it and hoses and stuff. And there's apparently a sleeping alien inside of here. So it says the Egg UAP in photo 1, and then also in photo 2, another angle. And then it says in photo 3, there's hieroglyphs on the cave's wall. Where do we see hieroglyphs on the cave's wall? Is that what these are? Is this a form of hieroglyphs? These dark etches? I don't see. Maybe this is a hieroglyph here. And hieroglyphs would be animal, bird, and figures like people in a language set. So are we talking about petroglyphs or hieroglyphs? It's really hard. We'd have to do some video inversions and look for shapes in this. But there was supposedly etchings and petroglyphs carved on the side of the egg as well. And I've seen a different photo of that, but I couldn't find it here. But it says photo number 4 is the pod where the entity was sleeping. And then another angle of the pod where the entity was sleeping. What the hell, guys? If this is real, this is wild. So maybe somebody out there that has firsthand experience on a team like Jacob Barber's saw that News Nation episode with Ross Coulthart and Jacob Barber and his colleagues, these Delta Force special operators hauling this egg, the Egg UFO. And maybe they felt like stepping forward and posting this on 4chan. I mean, if it's real, if these are just photoshopped or faked, or if this is some kind of a thing as a distraction, that's pretty crazy. But this gets even weirder. So I did scroll down here and somebody tried to say these were the hieroglyphs. And then also this anonymous user did inversion of the colors. So we've got the alleged Egg UAP. Here's the texture of the ice cave or the cave in Antarctica. Another angle, like from the other direction or the other side. Okay. An inversion of the colors, I still can't see, unless this is a large petroglyph of like a squatting horned figure. But it could be all of this over here, all of these etchings. It seems like if these were the petroglyphs or hieroglyphs, that the camera would just be centered on that. But it's like the whole cave wall doesn't really see much. And then here's an inverted colors of the pod, which is so odd. It's like a box, almost like a coffin. And then it's almost like there's kind of a domed lid that goes up like a pyramid on top. And then off of the head of this coffin is like these cables going up to these boxes. And then these other pods next to it or boxes next to it. Very strange. I scrolled down farther and there isn't a whole lot there, except for one other person kind of agreed that maybe there was like a squatter figure over here. This whole figure here with the horns and the squatting feet like this. I mean, that's, if I was looking for petroglyphs, that's kind of my interpretation. This looks like a big horned or head-dressed figure with a head here, the arm coming down and maybe holding something here, a curved body. And then here's the squatter man stance with this is classic petroglyph stuff with the foot here and the leg and the knee, like a tunic or has an apron on. Here's the other leg and foot, maybe holding something. And then it also looks like another figure here with the same horns going up, pointed head here, horns or a headdress going up, like long or tall ears or horns. And then you have the other head and then possibly the body going down. And then maybe a third figure with horns here, but they kind of bleed together a little bit. It's hard to tell. But this, I would say, if this was a petroglyph, it does look like that's a figure squatting in the classic squatter man position with the horns. I mean, I've seen these all over the desert Southwest, all over Utah with the horns like this and the body. And then it's difficult to tell. Yeah. And then weird. Why would they do petroglyphs on the cave wall? And then there's a sleeping pod. And then allegedly this egg UFO. Okay. So it gets even weirder because this exact same anonymous user on 4chan, they had this post that just had the photos. Okay, it says Antarctica photos. So this was at 8:05 this morning. Now we're going to jump over here and we have a different post that has video. So check this out. Pull this off here. Am I on the right one? Here we go. This is a video, and it appears to allegedly be another egg UFO dangling underneath a cargo lift cable again with a little bit different setup. Instead of like the blanket with the 4-point harness with the tethers going up to the hook and the pulley and all that, this is the big cable with a drop system. And then this is like a mesh, and it is like designed to carry an egg shaped object. And this is allegedly over Antarctica. And here's the video of them transporting another egg, allegedly the same egg that we just saw in the cave with the pod. This is it being removed. So wait, before I go too far, this was posted then this morning at 10:42 a.m. And it says the video you are about to view features a UAP, unidentified aerial phenomena, recovered in Antarctica in 2022 In contrast to the recently disclosed footage from 2 days ago, the UAP in this video is of ancient origins and was discovered within a cave. So it was they alleged that it was of ancient origins. So Bob Lazar, when he was in Area 51, also said that the flying saucer craft that he worked on, that it came from an archaeological site. Jacob Barber and his team also said in their video with Ross Coulthart on News Nation that these often come out of the ground or out of mountainsides, like a solid mountainside. These things will just come out of the ground somehow supernaturally, and then they use a psionic remote viewer to take telepathic control of the craft, bring it down and land it or crash it by communicating with the entity or the craft itself telepathically with remote viewing. And then their Green Beret, Delta Force, special operations operators go out with these helicopters and retrieve them like this. So I don't know if this is real or not. Obviously it's 4chan and it's anonymous link and posts. There's 2 of them all popping up this morning from the same anonymous poster claiming that it's from Antarctica. And the other one claimed it was from Queen Elizabeth's Range, and we saw inside the cave. So let's watch the footage now. This is allegedly it swinging underneath the helicopter being transported out after they got it out of that cave. This does look like like a square blanket type system underneath, like they have a platform or a sled underneath the egg. And then there's also straps around the egg going up to the helicopter. And it's swinging as they're flying over the mountain range. So people that are good at Google Earth or whatever could maybe even line up this mountain range logistically and be able to figure out where exactly this thing is flying and what direction and kind of what area. So I don't know if this is real, you guys, but it's really fascinating. It's another alleged whistleblower leak. I say alleged a lot because I can't vouch for it. It doesn't, it's not like Jacob Barber saying, that he was there and that it was real, but he claims that he did over 10 years of experience and work with his colleagues doing exactly these types of missions all over the place. We also have the testimonies of Michael Herrera and several other whistleblowers coming forward that are highly credentialed military officers, Green Berets, Delta Force guys coming out saying that they were involved in missions just like this. It doesn't have to make sense, guys. I don't know. Egg UAP, egg-shaped UFOs, giant eggs with hieroglyphs or petroglyphs carved on the side and symbols. That's all stuff similar to what we've heard coming out of Roswell and all kinds of incidents. We always see these petroglyph signs and pictographs. I've seen them all over here in southern Utah, across into Nevada, right all around Area 51, and they're horned figures, squatting position. And a lot of times there's dots, orbs, or egg-looking things carved or painted right alongside of them. Some of them are dots in a row, and then they align with constellations in the sky and also maps to different caves and systems all over. It's a really fascinating thing. So let me know what you guys think. Is this real? Is it not? Do we have another whistleblower coming forward? We will have to wait and see if this individual steps forward and if they actually have the valid credentials to back it up. But I kind of expected that this would happen as more whistleblowers get the protection to come forward and talk to the media like Ross Coulthart and News Nation. If you were in possession of video footage like this, let's say if you were a special operator and you had in your possession footage like this of an actual UFO egg-shaped craft retrieval from an alien sleeping or hibernation cave where one's in a pod with devices. If you were part of a team and had access to this footage in your hands, and then you saw that News Nation article and video come out with Ross Coulthart and Jacob Barber and all of his team, I think I would do the same thing. If I was sitting on it, I'd be like, now's the time. And I would put that footage out But also, that being said, this kind of stuff is going to be ripe for hoaxers. Immediately after the Jacob Barber footage came out and the egg UFO footage came out from from Jacob Barber's testimony on News Nation, there was tons of people that just started putting yarn and fishing line and duct tape around eggs and doing it on their living room carpet to make fake videos with night vision filters and stuff. Like, so people are going to hoax it. I don't know if this is real or not. Let me know what you think. Are we going to start seeing more and more like this? Are these things responsible for UFO sightings? Maybe when they're flying and they give off energy, it creates like a torus field or some kind of a weird phenomena effect that makes them look like a saucer shape. Possibly there are different shapes and types, but right now, allegedly, we're getting disclosed the egg UFOs. So really fascinating stuff. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Are these real or are we just getting hoaxed?